I would like my students to develop a complex awareness of how their own humanity and their desire for their human rights to be respected and protected are very similar to the desires people have in Cameroon or South Africa or Burkina Faso. So our humanity can be a starting point for discussion and for mutual understanding. I'm Phyllis Taoua, and I teach a course on human rights across context with a focus on protest movements in Africa that are citizen-led in favor of democracy and peaceful. Initially, students find studying the dynamics of protest in Africa exotic or different from them. So in Senegal, for example, a journalist, Fadel Barro, a hip-hop group, Kergui, got together. They were co-founders of a movement called Y'en a marre, which means in English, we're fed up. And they started organizing protests to increase participation in the next election. In Burkina Faso, the movement called Ballet Citoyen, or Citizen Broom Movement, wanted to chase from power Blaise Compaoré, who had been in office for 27 years. Increasing the participation of ordinary people in the process of democracy, registering people to vote, explaining what a voter ID card is. These are issues my students recognize as immediately important.
The ideal way of getting rid of the Biya regime would be through nonviolent protest.
We have a conversation every week with activists in the field.
He has used reggae music to criticize certain political misdemeanors.
These conversations are very important to my students' understanding. So this morning we spoke to an activist, Ismaël Compaoré, and he talked especially about 2014 and 2015 in Burkina Faso, where there was quite a lot of violence and, what that's like to endure. They asked him what his favorite, success was, and he said removing Blaise Compaoré from power. I'm currently working on a book on the role of culture in citizen-led protest movements. These different modes of cultural discourse can be used to advance the cause of democracy. Without trying to make everyone the same, we can see one's humanity as connected to other people's humanity. Certainly by the end of the course, I think my students start to recognize the importance of democracy, in Africa, but also here in the United States.